My name is Noel Dear, pastor of the First Baptist Church of Nacogdoches, Texas. Thanks for spending 2 minutes learning God's Word with me today. My Bible focus, Hebrews 2:1. For this reason, we must pay attention all the more to what we have heard, so that we will not drift away. Now let's look at this verse beginning with the end and then moving toward the beginning. The end of the verse is a warning against drifting away. Now, this is a reminder that if we are not active and focused in our spiritual life, we will gradually and without warning find ourselves in a dangerous and a destructive place. Now, let me tell you about drifting, the 3 Ds. Drifting is always destructive. We never drift to a good place. Drifting is always deceptive. We will not recognize our drift until we are far from where we thought we would be. And finally, drifting is democratic in that all of us are susceptible to drift. So think about it. If you're driving down the interstate and you allow your car just to drift, you will end up in an accident that will bring severe injury to yourself and maybe to others. If you were to just unhitch your boat from the dock and allow it to drift, it will end up in a place you wished it hadn't. And if you will allow your marriage or your spiritual walk, your focus on obedient living, your worship, your service, if you allow those things to drift, then gradually and imperceptibly they will decay. And one day you will wake up to find yourself in a dangerous and a destructive place. So in the middle of this verse, he tells us how to avoid drifting. He says we must pay attention all the more to what we have heard. Careful and regular study of God's Word is the only way we can avoid drifting. God's Word is the anchor that keeps us from drifting. Now, the beginning of this verse says that we should be motivated to avoid drifting by studying God's Word because of this reason. Well, what reason? Well, the next verses talk about the very serious and vital nature both of God's Word and God's judgment. Few things in life are more important than this. We must pay careful attention to God's Word, or we will drift to dangerous and destructive places. May we grow in our faith as we learn God's Word.